Hello, everybody. We are we're here playing Dark Heresy today. I am Shogun. These are my players. Leviticus is not with us right now. We have Quintilius, who's about to lead an army. We have Zebediah, who hopefully will keep the Titan, that is the main key to that plan, from breaking. And
Yes.
And we also have Irvin, who plans to be actually on the ground with the troops. And we are doing something different for the donations and stuff. If someone wants to donate or do bits, they can mark down or in the comment that you put in if you want to support the Emperor or Chaos, and that will edge things in one side towards one side or the other in the eternal tug of war between the forces of Chaos and the Emperor. Um, but without further ado, we're gonna get started, and we would we would um, uh, find ourselves above the planet Nidus. Right there. Yep, that one. With plans to attack an orc force there. In fact, the attack is going to be led by Quintilius. So, what kind of briefing would he be giving to the crew, as you now have the frigate, the Vengeance, orbiting the planet? You have a large force of troop carriers following very close to the Vengeance, and also the uh, Star Fortress, which is the base of operations for the Inquisition here, also orbiting the planet, which has been doing some light, by Imperial standards, light ground bombardment over the last day. What what would you how would you address the crew, and who would you include in this address? Would you broadcast to everyone or just the people on deck? How do you tell them what the plan is and what we're doing here?
I think last session we covered the planet we were invading,
Mm-hmm.
so there wouldn't be. We did it?
No, yeah, they're not like in the dark, but the the crew is there. They are ready to fight. Um, but for safety's sake, the Inquisition, not the Inquisition, the Imperial Guard on those ships, they don't even know what they're fighting. Unless you choose to uh, uh, inform them, they're just gonna go down there and shoot whatever is not Imperial Guard. Um, but yeah, they're waiting for an inspirational speech of some kind, or whatever can be mustered.
I'd, it'd probably be broadcast wide so that everyone could hear. But
Okay.
it'd probably be like, all right, men, we go down to the planet Nidus to clear the orc infestation. We will show them the might of the Emperor and cleanse this system from them. And that'd probably be it.
You would hear a light hurrah from outside the main command room, and a light um, whisper of prayers from the crew members nearby in the room. You would all be in the main command room of the Star Fortress, ready to begin the attack as soon as you're ready. The information officers would approach with a data slate. Say, Sir, we have compiled all the information gathered from the reconnaissance. The orcs have amassed themselves and built walkers and vehicles to the best of their ability, surrounding a small structure that appears to be of imperial design. We have devised a basic battle plan that should draw the main enemy forces in the wrong directions into the forest, a deep jungle, so that we can strike into their heart with our full might. It has been recorded that at the death of their leader, orcs grow into intense disorganization. Is this acceptable?
Quintilius would reply that yes, it's acceptable, and begin the operation.
This way, sir. And so, Zebediah and Quintilius were going to be on the Titan, correct?
That's right.
All right. They would be shipped over to the Vengeance, where it is being stored. Zebediah, you can roll a plus 20 lore or knowledge of Mechanicus, if you would like.
Bam.
He's back. But did Elias still want to talk to us at some point?
Oh, yes. Actually, he specifically would intercept Quintilius and Zebediah in the hangar where the Titan is, trying to avoid coming in contact with Irvin. He would approach with and I'll get back to that roll in a second. He would approach with a large-ish box, like it would be about this long, this wide, and about this deep. And he would approach, say, the Inquisitor's last order were for whoever is to interact and open the arsenal must use this. Here. And he inclines his head and offers it forward to you.
I'll accept it and say thank you, and hand it to Zebediah.
And he would quickly move out back to his quarters, or to the shuttle to move back to the command center. This Titan, all you could say, Zebediah, is that this is a peculiar Titan. It appears to, like, when it was kind of have the skeleton of a Reaver Titan, but a good size bigger, leaving it something like 50, probably 60 meters tall.
Okay.
But it has on top of it modifications that make it look a bit more like an Imperator class Titan. So it's got shoulder and basically above neck mounted platforms for small mounted guns and an actual like command deck. So it's not just like a small crew operated combat Titan. It also has a full command deck from which a general could command an army and have maps and communication systems and organize and command an army from that point.
So the shoulders one has the gun mount, the other one's a command deck. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, so it's got two arms and the guns are down on the arms. On the top of the shoulders, because the head comes down lower than the shoulders, it's kind of hunchbacked. On top of the shoulders are these large platforms, which both have arrays of just like more immediate, like heavy bolters and stuff attached to it, more for like anti-air defense, and anti-boarding defense. And then inside, a bit deeper in, there is a actual like command deck.
All right, sweet.
And you would, because I don't care how bad you roll, you would recognize the weaponry of it. Its weapons is a Vulcan pattern Titan bolter and a Inferno cannon, which is essentially a gigantic storm bolter and a gigantic flamer.
Sweet.
Yeah, so you guys would be guided to the access ramps and brought aboard into the command center. You'd find a very utilitarian room in the minds of Mechanicus. So there's nothing that is not necessary. However, necessary does include scrolls of purification and ornate symbols and etchings to the Omnissiah. There's a small elevated command platform from which you can see the two main control consoles for the Titan, where crews are operating and communicating with each other to prepare for drop. And let's really quick jump over to Irvin. How do you get yourself amongst the crew? Do you go in with their like into one of their drop shuttles, just amongst them?
Yeah, I think that would be best, and I'll pick like whichever unit is going to be on basically or counter-strike duty. That's going to be me.
There are two forms of counter-strike troops. There's a specialist Skitarii mech troop or mechanical troop counterattack, and then Chimera armor transports, which are kind of also tanks that will also be used for quick response to enemy attacks. You can go with either one you want.
Oh, Skitarii might be interesting, but I don't think they're going to be entertaining to talk to. So I will go with the enlisted and a Chimera.
All right, yeah.
And, I'll just attach myself to squad at random unless there's like a command squad that wants me or something.
Yeah, you're attached to one of the ones that will be hanging out near the Titan.
Okay.
Yeah. Any other preparations? Any last commands for any of you? Or chat with the people nearby before you drop into war?
I know that Elias intercepted Quintilius and Zebediah in the hangar and was kind of trying to dodge me, but can I corner him for a sec with a couple questions?
If you want. Like, he won't run away from you. He knows you don't like him.
All right, so with some obvious disgust on my face, I say, I've got a couple of questions for you.
Yes.
And what news of this Red Tooth?
As far as I'm aware, Red Tooth was killed during the previous operation. The only remaining leader amongst these orcs is the orc that you met on the derelict ship. Captain Metalhead, I believe is what he called himself.
That sounds right. Very good.
But he should be the last functional leader amongst the orcs. in this
Well,
area.
I'm glad they didn't get to make friends. And you tell me what order our Inquisitor is from?
I have not been graced with that information either.
You're in the same boat as us.
Yes.
All right, you can go. And I wave him off.
If as he walks away, he turns back. He says, "If you would like to know more information about the Inquisitor," and he looks kind of unsure about whether to speak or not. He kind of is waiting on your cue. I could
Nod at him to go on.
he
Nod at him to go on.
he keeps me around because of injuries incurred due to the forces of chaos. I ease his pain because his wounds are not of the physical nature, but of the soul. I do trust him, and I do believe he fights for the Imperium above all. But I think that at this point, especially with you all needing to take command, I think you should know that.
Thank you for your confidence, and I make the very brief sign of the Aquila I gave him earlier.
And he returns it and quickly paces away.
Alright, with that, I will take a shuttle to an Imperial Guard dropship and rendezvous with whatever squad I'm with.
All right. Y'all ready for this?
Do it.
You guys see a bunch of... So the troops are brought down. The Titan and it is brought down by just being dropped. And the others are brought in by rapid dropship drop off. They do not stick around very long as fire is raining up. Most of it not capable of really hurting you all because it's mostly small arms fire and just orcs can't see something that looks like an enemy and not shoot at it. But most of the stuff that comes at the dropships doesn't hurt them at all because it's just orcs just firing their pistols at it. But there are a couple heavier guns, and they drop off their troops real quick. You see the more specialized Skitarii troops being dropped off. And so the... I'm going to make your characters visible, but you all know where they are. So... it would be... Zebediah and Quintilius are inside the Titan. Quintilius are inside the Titan. And Irvin would be over inside this Chimera. There's a single hatch for whoever's spotting for the Chimera to step out, or whoever wants to command it to step out and command around and aim. And since you're an step-in Inquisitor, you can command around this Chimera however you want.
Bring me closer. I want to hit them with my chain axe.
That's what I thought you'd say.
Hanging out the side.
Yeah. So this is a mass battle. This is not just, move your pieces gently sort of thing. We're gonna go a bit different. But if you guys want to basically just tell me how you want to fight stuff, and I'm gonna just shift everyone around as appropriate. What is you guys' order? Seeing the enemy amassed in front of you, and this is not the full army on either side. A lot of the enemy armor and vehicles have been drawn off. There's a quite terrifying air battle going on above. You see the orc copters and orc flyers. They're crude biplanes and triplanes spinning around trying to chase down the heavy Imperial fighters. Off to the east and west, you guys can see the jungle's just alight with fire. Both bullet and machine gun fire and actual flaming fire streaking through the jungle. And the clamor of battle, even though this line is not engaged yet, is intense. But yeah, how do you guys proceed?
That's our goal here, is just to get rid of all these troops.
Yes, and you guys would see this thing up here is most definitely an Imperial transport of some kind. It's not a standard design, but it's some kind of like shipping container sort of thing, heavily armored, with small propulsion systems on the back. Yeah. It is right there, and you see a couple orcs looking like more techy orcs are abandoning their post, currently like drilling and scraping at the exterior of it, are abandoning their post to join the fight, despite their orders.
Does my Chimera have a pencil-mounted weapon at all?
It has this one would be it would have a heavy, like, solid projectile cannon. Similar to the ones, if you can zoom down at the little tokens, they're not very big. It has a cannon on them.
Auto cannon turret, right?
Yeah.
That's. I was asking if there's like a storm bolter or a heavy stubber, or nah.
No, yeah. So it's a auto cannon on the swiveling on the top, and then on the front mounted
turret?
Just straight forward. Yeah, the turret, and then just straight forward, so it can't rotate in any way. There is a pair of heavy flamers on just pointed straight forward.
Hull-mounted heavy flamers. All right. That's all I need to know. I'll just sit up there with my chain axe out, looking like a madman.
All right. So unless any other orders are issued, the bulk of orcs is just going to shift as fast as they can move themselves. You can hear the thunder of their feet, and you can hear coming from the just mob that rushes forward, trampling and tearing apart the jungle in front of them.
Irvin roars back, trying to match them.
Okay.
Not like a wall, like an alien thing. It's like a human roar.
Does that add to the psychic power?
Why don't you roll fellowship plus 10?
Oh shit!
Because your the crew of the Chimera roar alongside you.
And I've lit the brazier of Saint Roberto on my back, so So
cool.
Just know that.
Yeah.
Got a big friggin' torch on my back. Oh, didn't do plus 10. Oh well, I would have failed.
Yeah, so it's you scream as hard as you can, but you still can't hear yourself over the orcs.
All right.
And then you see a batch of orcs uh, leap over the others with extremely primitive rocket packs and begin attempting to engage in melee with the Imperial Guard. Except this dude right here, he gets stepped on by the Titan. Or these are sort of squads, not individuals, but he gets stepped on by a Titan. And they're just the Imperial Guard, the Skitarii, the Chimeras. They're waiting to strike. But currently they're just holding a line, killing as many as they can as the enemy slowly marches forward. Well, as fast as they can carry themselves, but still kind of slowly.
Man, can we unleash this devastating storm bolter power here?
Yeah. Where do you specifically want to talk at? You and actually, Quintilius and Zebediah, could you please roll a flat awareness test, perception awareness test? You get minuses because you're so far away, but also some pluses because there's supporting technology to try and compensate for that. But it kind of ends up canceling itself out. There you go.
Ooh, nice.
Does this Titan have a name, by the by?
Not yet. They were hoping that it would earn one today. Yeah. Zebediah and Quintilius, you both notice that these fellows here in the front are notably larger orcs, which could be defined as knobs. They're packs of knobs charging, leading the front, and would be designated as higher value targets. The Titan is manned by more than just one person, so both of the guns can target entirely independently. So you can pick how you want to unleash this devastation.
Oh man, Quintilius, I recommend we split them up, shooting bullets in the back and flames in the front.
Sounds good to me.
Okay. The flamer has a wide arc, so you could strike like sweep it, or you can either have like a long cut of it that's thin, or you can have a very short, wide birth of flames, and then the Stormbolter just fires forward, just terribly powerful volley in sort of a line effect. Just aim them out. Tell me where you want them.
Let's have the Flamer do the Longle attack with the Flamer. And the Stormbolter can just shoot whatever.
Okay. Where are you aiming those? Flamer there. Okay. And we're gonna really quick roll up some. Well, actually, basically, we're just gonna roll a. Very good. You see, as this knob jumps forward, he is caught directly by the Inferno cannon and completely incinerated. And watching their leader, the remaining up here are either torched and destroyed or running away. and the center of this formation is gutted. And then the heavy Vulcan bolter would specifically chop down this knob, and then the orcs would really begin to move in. The Imperial Guard would begin to call for help, and the Skitarii would move up and begin to slip in to fight. To support. And on this side, the Chimera would move up and begin to flank the orcs. Does Irvin want to move his up as well?
Yes.
Why don't I?
Carrying the other one would be fine.
How about that? You have control of it now.
Oh, okay.
Okay. And the enemy would begin to move in on you. Why don't you roll your... Orcs begin to jump up onto the Chimera, and a particularly big orc wielding a double-handed chopper tries to strike up at you, and you get an opportunity to strike him back.
Right.
Hoo-hoo-hoo!
Barely.
There you go. And so you pull your chain axe and grind it, just gutting across his exposed stomach. And you feel it catch for just 1 second as it catches inside his spine. Yeah, that's... And then you hear a snap, and the spine disconnects, and you go all the way through. And the orc, regaining just a bit of conscience for just a couple seconds, continues to try to swing down on you, even though he's lost his bottom half, and tries to swing down at you. Roll a... You can either parry or dodge. Either one is at a -10 because you're a bit constricted in your position.
Okay. Parry. And 18, I think.
Oof.
Okay. Real quick, pull up that.
I failed to parry.
Yeah, I'm throwing this up because yeah. So he's gonna strike down at you. I'm just sorry. I'm checking stuff and getting lost in it. There. I'm gonna roll a 10 plus 2, so 5. Actually, I don't think that hurts you, does it? Total of 5 damage.
And where did he hit me?
Like on your essentially body, but like strikes along the back of your shoulder. Is that enough to hurt you with 5 damage?
No, it is not.
Okay, yeah, that's what I thought. So yeah, you gut him in half. He has no strength left to really go into you with his choppa, and slices across the armor on your shoulder and falls behind you. And upon seeing the bigger of the orcs in this group fall so easily. The other orcs are easily slain by the dual flamers in front. And this squad here is destroyed. The Imperial Guard start taking losses. Here. The Skitarii begin to engage. Imperial Guard move up to guard their flank. The Titan is ready to... the Titan and also the Chimeras are ready to move.
Are we gonna get ourselves closer to that bunker?
Yep, you
transport?
can step forward. And again, I made a mistake. I'll give. So how far do you can move it up? Just full speed?
So what do you think? Should we get closer to that thing, or should we finish off all these troops first?
Let's go ahead and use the flamer to get rid of the troops to our left, and then we could begin the advance.
Okay. So. All right. That is a direct just incineration across, and I'm just going to say, whoops. Those are dead. Those are dead. Those are dead, and that Imperial Guard is dead.
No.
Oh no, some Imperial Guard died. No. And
Description.
Irvin, please roll awareness, perception awareness.
Oh.
Wow. You hear the light running, and you almost hear it not because it's loud, but because it's a different pace. All the orcs, they shuffle, they move, and they just run as fast as they can, stomping at a rhythm like a drum. But you hear a pit-pat, 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 and something dark quickly leaps over the Chimera from the left side, over your head, lands again in the foliage, and just disappears. You had a very bad look at it, but you notice it just gone, just for a second. Something humanoid moved across your Chimera and is gone again. And now you can do whatever you want. Is that those what? What
he gets.
Maybe.
Yeah, what's his face? Metalhead said something about Twiggy.
Oh, you were listening, were you? Oh wait, somebody. Uh-oh. He dropped out. No, he should be back real quick, I think. He usually is.
Sounds like it's time to compact our forces.
Yeah, but he has been listening when the orcs mentioned Twiggy gets. I'm gonna... Okay.
No.
Yeah, no. Wait, here we go. We're good. Cool.
Sorry, Discord crashed on me, but something leaped over my head and
Yeah, you've been mentioning... You've been listening when the orcs mentioned Twiggy gets. You definitely
Okay.
heard them say that at least once.
my character doesn't know what they are, but I have my own ideas. I will.
For
I will warn.
for context, the sound originated from here, jumped over your chimera, moving northward towards the arsenal. So it was behind you guys' lines, then moved in front of them now.
Okay. I'm gonna tell the driver to direction, assuming that's north.
We're back. Okay. So you head up north as well?
Yeah.
Okay. You can move up to, I think, 60 feet in one move with that thing. Or 30 feet for a half move. 30 for a half move, 60 for a full move.
I will do 20.
Okay.
5-ish, wherever that is.
Okay. And so that's still a half, so you could still like shoot with your stuff however you want to. What was that?
I'll have the turret fire at the orcs still while the tank is moving forward.
Okay. And this batch of orcs and this batch of grots would be taken out on the way. And then the orcs begin to try and consolidate in, get closer to the Humi gets. These ones, for some reason, try and chase after the Chimera. Nob moves in here and kills that Skitari squad. And the Imperial Guard continue to fight a hard battle against the orcs. And you guys can act as however you would like now.
Let's move forward with the Titan.
All right.
I'll also praise my comrades that something non-orky has headed towards the arsenal.
Okay. Quintilius and Zebediah are aware, but they do not need to relay this information. Like, this information is just between the three of you for now, unless you guys on purpose relay it.
I just sent him my microbead. It's all good.
Yeah, I'll order the Chimera to move up with us.
Okay, this Chimera moves up to follow the Titan. And
so up somewhat while attacking that orc near us, that orc squad unit.
Okay. They would definitely die because they're just grots.
Ah.
The fighting kind of leaves you guys' vision as you see nothing in your way to get to there, and unless you guys want to stop, you guys would all be able to just move forward up to the arsenal. And you would hear all in your microbeads and also on the display screens in the Titan and in the Chimera would hear, "I said I'd get you, Gates, and I will." And you would see a small storm of yellow lightning occurring in front of the Titan. And it would send shocks just randomly out of this little pillar of lightning and then strike just like a viper straight at the command center in the Titan, breaking open the glass. And at the exact same time, Ervin, you would hear that pitter-patter again. And you would hear, again, it leap up, but this time straight towards you. You see a shadowy figure leap forward, and you hear his voice, "A slight nudge." And it, like, claps your face and the world goes dark for just a millisecond, and then you see what you imagine the warp to just unfiltered look like. But you realize this can't be truly the warp, else it would hurt a lot more. But everything goes crazy for just a second. And you are all now in the command center. You, Irvin, are right here. You appear out of a tear in the wall, and are just now way higher up, now inside the command room of the Titan. And there, standing before you, is the orc. And two previously unidentified creatures. And you all can roll for initiative.
Ten, and my agility bonus is 4, but it appears that
I got you.
14.
Yeah, everybody tell me what your agility bonus is, and I will add it in. Here, real quick.
Agility bonus 3.
Yours is 3, so that should be 8 there. And Quintilius, what is your agility bonus?
3.
3. Okay. So there, and then real quick. No, let me do that. There we go. Okay, cool. So now before you is Captain Metalhead. A bit more scraped up and battered than last time you saw him. You see his left arm has been entirely severed and replaced with a large, mechanical, industrial-looking power claw. And in his right arm he holds a very large, what should be a two-handed, huge chopper. And then on the right and left, you see two strange, brutal, but yet elegant standing humanoid creatures with metal masks on their face and medical-looking tools and instruments on their backs, and also inserted into their skin. Their skin is a pale, slightly sickly-looking tone, and they menacingly draw their weapons. The one on the right wields a whip and a small pistol, and the one on the left holds a very large and vicious-looking weapon, some type of heavy Xenos rifle. These creatures are definitely not orcs, but they aren't immediately apparent what they are. Does anyone have forbidden lore Xenos?
I don't believe I do.
Okay. Alright. That's fine. At the top of the order is this creature up here, which will take a step forward, its half move, and strike with its weapon.
If Urban's here, who's driving the tank?
I was just
nobody
hanging out in the
anymore.
turret.
He was just in the tank, and he is not, and that is not a normal thing.
The operator was driving the tank. I was just hanging out in the turret, right?
You weren't actually driving it. That's true, but you were commanding it around, and you were just in.
And now I'm not there.
Yeah,
That's
you
gotta
were
freak them out.
just in the tank 5 seconds ago, and yeah, no, everyone saw you just like fall out of a hole in the wall along with this other creature, and then the other creature on the left also just appear out of nowhere. Okay, you are struck with the Agonizer. And you can choose to attempt to dodge it, but you cannot parry this weapon.
Alright, flexible. We will attempt to dodge. I will use a fate point to reroll that. Even though I don't have a great chance.
Yep, okay. It was worth it, I think, to try.
Oh my gosh.
Oh boy. Yeah, it's Pen 6, 16 damage, energy, and
What's the hit location?
hit location should be 13, which is 31. Body. Like always, body.
Hmm.
And that is critical damage.
Doesn't the Brazil light it on fire though?
No.
Are you okay? Is your character still?
Really harmed. Let's see. 16. Armor. By 5.
Yes.
I'm still standing, but I am hit.
Okay. Also, you're struck with effects of what is it? Shocking. Yeah. Wait, and which does I looked at this right before we started and I forgot already. Shocking. Roll a challenging, which is a flat toughness test, please.
Use another fate point to re-roll that because I get the feeling I don't want to deal with this.
Yep.
All right.
Okay. You are struck by it, and you get ready to dodge, but right as it raises the whip up to strike towards your head, you see the whip of its own volition, it seems, just coil up and snake around your leg and then come up and strike into your chest. You feel the barbs of unknown origin appearing to be collected from many creatures, not just like carved out of metal, but collected from the teeth and talons of many unknown beasts. The pain is excruciating, and you barely manage to grit your teeth and stay focused as it snakes itself away from your chest and gives it a little cleaning whip, and the blood splatters on the floor. And it moves to your turn.
Okay. Oh,
I'm going to say your weapons were drawn because you were out, in fighting.
Okay. Right on. Seeing as I may not be standing much longer, I am going to go ahead and take a half action to put on Fire Shield if I can.
Okay.
Yep, half action. Oops, wrong button.
Push. Push. Suddenly, demons.
Oh, for some reason. Oh, there it is.
Also, alarms are going off. This place, which was loud with all the moving of metal, the crunch of trees being crushed underneath the feet of the Titan, has been replaced by it now stands still as the pilots are now distracted, but it is now replaced by the blaring sounds of alarms that there are intruders aboard. The trips wire, like the sensor wires that are lined through the glass to inform of a breach, spark with electricity as you see the giant hole punched by the entry of the orc through basically the windshield. So what is your second one? Oh wait, you roll Psychana or psychic powers for Fire
About
Shield
to.
too? Oh yeah, and you nail it. And no doubles, so no perils of the warp. And you can take your other action.
Half action attack with my chain axe.
All right.
Charge.
Wow, that's pretty good. The creature is going to attempt to dodge. Oh boy, that's a pretty good dodge. You strike at it, and you see it kind of tuck itself in as if to let the blow come down on it. But as you bring your blade through, the body that you just struck kind of fizzles and crackles, and you see that actually it just stood still, just hanging back just a tiny bit. And you see its shape shimmer and flicker for a second, and kind of split into two for a second and remerge. Primitive creature. And it is now Quintilius' turn.
I'm going to bring my long glass to Bale and do a half aim at the one on the left.
Okay. That would be your turn. And the other one is going to take a half move to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then it's going to fire up at Quintilius. Oh.
Is it possible to dodge that?
No.
Um. It, I think it might be. Um. Yeah, you can try a dodge, but that as it sits, that's 6 direct hits with this weapon. As it fires, it lays its heavy weapon over the console and unleashes a volley of small barbed. They look like long extruded arrowheads without any shaft or anything attached to them that fly barbed and spiked in means almost less for damage and more for pain. Uh, and does he decrease the amount of hits, or just that's a flat success?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a decrease on the number of hits equal to the number of degrees of success he
Okay.
has.
So that's 2 degrees of success. Three degrees of
Way
success.
more than that. He would get 1 for getting anywhere from 50 to 55, and then an additional for every digit he goes below that. So it's like 30, 20. So 4 degrees of success.
4 degrees of success, cut off of its 6, 7. What did it get? 1 on a target of 50. That's
1 hit plus every 1 for every degree of success beyond the first if it's rapid fire. I assume it is.
yeah. It's using full auto. So how many hits does it still get? I'm still terrible at this. It's 1 at 11.
It lets out a burst of how much is its full auto burst?
10.
So 2 hits.
2 hits. Okay. And wait. Yeah, that's that. How do you do on those? Also, that's a 1, which strikes on the head or left leg. Head, yeah, head, and then after that, it goes in and hits the head again. So both of those shots will hit the head. How are you doing over there?
I think I have 1 point in wounds left.
Okay. Okay, and then now please make a toughness test at a -40.
By the Emperor.
Yeah. Okay. This could be bad. Zebediah, you would see Quintilius struck twice, one blow glancing across his head and then one penetrating into his jaw. He reaches in and yanks out one of the splinters, and you see a caustic green poison seeping out of them, and his eyes grow faint and unfocused. And next turn, damage will occur. It is Zebediah's turn.
Oh god, man. So drag Quintilius to safety or fire back with the cannon.
Note there is a entrance into the room at the bottom, and also over here, and also over here. and you hear now over the Vox system, a breach in the command room! Breach in the command room! Move defense forces to the command room! And you also see Metalhead staring you guys down. I said I'd get my revenge someday. Today is that day, Mr. Twiggy Boys.
Oof, oh god. Alright, so he's got a splitter cannon. He's in melee with an agonizer, and I've got an orc right in front of me. So he's gonna take damage next round.
You could roll a
Well,
free Medicaid test to determine what you think will happen to him due to that Xenos poison. Or you can make a pretty educated guess if you want. Yeah, no. You would determine that unless something happens soon, that will probably kill him. Due to like the amount of damage he's taken, he probably won't be able to hold on to survive what the poison is going to try and do to him, unless something is done.
What's it gonna take to grab some of his limbs with my Mechanicus implants and then drag him somewhere where I can do a skill? Is using a skill half action or is it just a full action?
It's a half action. In most cases, unless it's a more complicated thing. As long as Quintilius doesn't resist, I'm just gonna say you can drag him along at half speed. Well, no, he's not like down in any way yet, so he can you can drag him along, yeah, at full speed, I think. Yeah.
I'm not in much of a position to resist, so.
Well, so here's what I want to do. I want to do a first aid action on Quintilius to get him back some of these wounds.
All right. You should do that. That is a smart thing to do, I think.
All right. So with my superior surgeon, I already get a plus 20.
Mm-hmm.
If I fail this, I get to use with my dedicated healer. Well, hopefully I don't fail it. So there it is, Medicaid. All right. What is that? 21 out of 75.
That is pretty good. That is 1 for succeeding, and then 7 degrees of 6 degrees of success. Yeah.
You add your intelligence bonus as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
what is that? 6 plus what?
4.
4? Nice. So total of 10. So that will regenerate 10 hit points. Is that correct? Call me out if I'm wrong. Generate.
Yeah, so he removes an amount of damage from his patient equal to his intelligence bonus plus 1 additional point per degree of success.
Yeah. So, and I'm also going to say that at the same time, you also deal with the poison as well. So, very quickly, you lash out, almost as you were like going to maul him, and just begin to tear out the splinters and quickly staple together his throat or his jaw. You insert small tubes in and suck out the poison until you start drawing just straight regular blood. And then just spew it out on the. Well, you can keep it if you want for study later, actually. And yeah,
the poison.
Yeah, and then quickly install a temporary metal plate on right here to hold his head together for now. And that would be your turn. Pretty productive turn, I think. And then the orc gets his turn. And he is going to charge. Let me just be sure that he can make it, he can make it. There. And he is going to strike out at you. And he's, yeah.
Ooh.
Where's my other one? Him.
Well, I don't think I'm surviving this fight.
Swings at Zebediah with his large chopper. Oh yeah, thank you, Nerdopedia, for the host. It's very nice. All right. And are you going to dodge that or?
Oh yeah, so I'm gonna try and
tip to
I get one
parry?
dodge a turn, right?
Yeah, you get your reaction. Because you didn't spend that.
Right.
So the orc runs up, charges across the command deck to strike at you, but you get the opportunity to dodge. Oh,
I fall further into his chopper.
yeah. Okay, yeah. Let's. I didn't mean for them to be this good. I don't want to wipe you out that fast. Fortunately, I have plans, but shush. No. And unfortunately, this weapon is tearing, so he gets to roll an additional d10 and replace if he chooses one of his ones. That doesn't end up better than either of his rolls. So his actual damage is 14 rending, pen 3 on you. Landing 44 in the body. Hey, what do you know?
Alright, so pen 3, so I blocked 2 of it. What was the total?
14.
Oof, man, I'm sorry, man, that's gonna take me down.
Ooh, bye. I'll mark you as on. That looks like a adequate symbol right there. So yeah, you're
Alright, so that's
down.
well, so wait, so it does one more than I have wounds, right, to my body?
Correct. Which should put you, and again, correct me if I'm wrong, should put you down to.
Is it'll give him crit damage on what was it, the choppa?
Yeah.
Did he use the choppa?
The body rending?
Yeah.
1 body rending crit damage. So
what page is that?
Result.
Page 240. So, I mean, technically I'm wearing armor, and so there is no effect, and he thanks the Emperor for his foresight.
Yep. Yeah, if the target is not wearing armor on this location, he suffers 1 level of fatigue from painful laceration. If he's wearing armor, there's no effect, and he thanks the Emperor for his foresight. Hey, that was pretty awesome. Guess what? The Emperor protects.
So that means I've got 1 crit on my body then, right?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, so you are guess not downed, but you're pretty hurt. And it is now back to the top of the turn order, and you guys would hear this. As troops begin to file in to the best of their ability to come help. And I'm gonna add them. Well, I just guess I'll add this dude to the add a turn at the very bottom, and I will give them a turn now. And so they will collectively roll a bunch of shots. Okay. So apparently, when first entering this room, um, a bunch of the guards apparently were not paying attention. They're just like, we gotta get in there, gotta get in there. And then as soon as they entered, they just sprayed randomly. Um, yeah. And they hit nothing but air. In fact, they're lucky they didn't hit another Imperial Guard. And so now.
Imperial stormtroopers. Wait, what?
Yeah. I thought they were supposed to be better than that. The person in front of Irvin says, "You look a little worse for wear, human."
I just grin at him and say, what do I say in this situation?
Because you do look a little worse for wear.
Just grit my teeth and turn that gritting of teeth into a grin as fiercely as I can.
Why don't you roll willpower just to show what you're made of? Yeah. You see, you can't see his face, but you see him almost kind of slump in disappointment. He's just like, I hoped for something more fun. and he will step away from you, incurring a free attack.
All right. Hit. Standard.
Okay. And now it's going to roll a dodge, and I wanted to do this all night, is to let him roll his dodge. And that's a success. So, yeah, you again strike at him, and the image that you cut right through just kind of morphs and turns out not to entirely be real. It's hard to, even just when he's standing still, to figure out exactly where he stands. He always seems to just kind of slide sideways or something even when he's just standing still. And he steps over to these Imperial Guard, whips out the agonizer, and just like nonchalantly drapes it over the shoulder of the Imperial Guard closest to him, and then quickly tugs it, completely severing the Imperial Guard's head, and then grabs the other Imperial Guard by the vest and says, "Maybe you'll be a little more fun," and presses a bladed finger onto his forehead and draws a bloody line across, and then just steps into the hallway with him, and they are all three gone. They have grown bored, and it is now Irvin's turn to do what he can to fight.
Oh,
We're using the right measurement, right? Yeah, meters. Okay, I wanted to be sure. You can fault the Imperium for a lot of things, but the one thing that they did right is they started using the metric system.
all right. Well, um, so as he drags him into the hallway, I shout, much to shout after him. What the hell? I shouldn't have drank while I was playing, but I'll shout, "Oh, poor damn guardsmen are more fun than me, huh?" And then I'm going to take a look at this guy with a splinter cannon. As I charge at him, I'm going to say, "You're next, buddy," and attack him. Axe.
And
And
yeah,
sometime
this one with the splinter cannon seems a lot more focused. It watches you charge up, and instead of dodging around, shifting, getting and antsy to tangle, it's more just carefully watches you approach.
all right.
I got his
So,
attention fully.
and as I charge, I don't know a lot I can do to tell those guardsmen to focus on the orc, but I hope he seems like the biggest threat in the world.
Well, he physically is bigger. He actually takes up. He's big enough to take up more spaces.
God damn. Yeah, I'm gonna use my last fate point to re-roll that because I'm screwing up at the thing my character should be good for. Charge 0. Oh my gosh. So I missed.
Yeah, it just simply inches back, slides out of the way, and just watches you viciously, angrily, and also a little bit bleedingly. Like you're not the most healthy you've been, and it just and calmly watches you, just inches away from him, holding a terrifying chain axe, just calmly sees you there. It's like, yes, I acknowledge that you are here, but I don't care. It is Quintilius' turn.
It's a shame that I did the full aim on the Twiggy boy that Olvin's fighting.
Yeah, especially because he's engaged in melee now.
You hold a reaction which would break a concentration movement or a concentration action like aim.
Mm-hmm.
Benefit of it.
Can I move to the edge about right heel and then do a half aim and file on the orc?
The
aim.
Yeah, the half aim is a half action, so you would only be able to just do either a half aim or a shot.
I'll just do the filing.
You are in. You would be within 3 meters, so that would be point blank range. But he is going to strike at you. For daring to leave melee. And he misses. Yeah, so he comes down, and Zebediah, you just barely managed to pull your hand away. In fact, a couple of the less important medical apparatuses that were still stuck in Cotillius's face are severed as the big chopper comes down and just grinds into the ground, tearing a terrible gash in the floor, and he roars, "Come back, you coward little Yumi!" Oh! There you go.
Nice.
So that is a lot of degrees of success, which means you can add your 9 degrees of success, use that instead of damage if you want. Instead of whatever you roll for damage. I believe that's
Additionally,
correct.
you roll 2 additional d10 for an accurate weapon.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So roll 2 more d10s. And add those or take one instead.
So you add those.
Add those.
Any one of them with 9.
And, oh, yeah. So there's 3. So you would switch that out. So add 6 to your total. So 12 plus 7. Okay. So 19 damage. Pen 1 to the orc's head, which is pretty good. That's the best place to hit him.
Additionally, a long last has felling 4, so 4 of any unnatural toughness his target has is negated.
Perfect. Yeah, so that would put him at yeah, you've actually hurt him. That's minus. You hurt him a lot. That was actually a lot. You guys would see the laser shot come straight into his face and guide and slide across his face, cutting into his eyes as he just barely closes them in time to save some of his vision. You see the decorative mohawk of red fur that he had gathered from some places incinerated and destroyed. The squig that's been hanging around on his shoulder is just vaporized. And his face is now just completely blackened, boiling, and spilling out blood. I'll get you for that, you me! And it is now this guy's turn. The unknown creature that I keep almost saying the name of. Okay. You see the creature focus, but kind of give up halfway through and release. And you, Irvin, you would have sensed him trying to gather warp power, but releases it, thinking better of it, sensing some kind of danger, but it will try again. Try and this time he looks at you confidently and blinks out of existence for a second and reappears over here. And this time takes a small little chuckle. Come and get me, little man. And it is now Zebediah's turn.
Oh man. So I want to take a point blank shot against this orc right here.
Okay. Yeah. I think there's a penalty for firing. What are you trying? Oh, are you using the plasma pistol?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, that's a pistol. You can do that. Yeah, and that there's no penalty. But it's not point blank. You don't get the point blank if you're engaged in melee.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah, I see you guys chatting about the books. I love the rule books. They are some of the most beautiful um, rule books that ever. Like I managed to get my hands on this one, the core. They are beautiful books. And what do you roll?
Bam,
Ooh!
yes.
Were you using your maximal setting or just regular?
Just the regular one
Okay.
this time.
All right. And that is 12, which is 21, which strikes the body again. No. Left arm, actually. And you know what? He's not going to waste his time trying to dodge. He knows that's not going to happen.
All right.
Oh, I made a mistake. None of you have missed, so it wouldn't have made any difference. Actually, you would have taken one more point of damage. But the giant orc is actually a hulking creature, which means he is easier to hit.
Let's see.
So yeah, roll damage. Pen
14, 10, 6.
6. Wow. So it's there. 1. Okay. You see as your plasma bolt fires and hits his left arm, which is the power claw, and you see it seize up the joints melting and fusing into each other, and he tries to reach for you with it, but it's stuck. It's just, I just got that piece. He's
Sure.
roll a medicus, a free Medicaid check at a minus 20 with perception, not intelligence.
With perception, not intelligence.
Correct.
All right. So
Because you're looking at him, not performing an actual diagnostic.
my perception and my intelligence. So okay, got it.
Ooh, hello, Fabricator General. Thank you for joining the party. Okay. Yeah, he
No
seems
dice.
to get really angry, which seems to invigorate him a bit. But he's appears to be more angry than he is hurt. And next it is his turn.
Turn of the one who ducked into the hall, or
Nope, it is turn of the orc.
mistook that icon. Okay.
And he is going to try and hit you. He is really angry. Oh boy. Where's the exact rules for all out attack? I want to be sure I get them correct, because he just rolled really good. So he just gets the plus 30, or does he get? Oh, I'm thinking of Swift. Okay, yeah. So yeah, he hits you. Do you want to attempt to dodge? Or are you good as is?
Think not.
I don't think you are.
On attack, you can't attempt an evasion
Oh,
next turn.
yeah. But
But
the does Zebediah want to uh try and dodge?
it's a pressing question.
Zebediah. Wait, so is this a new round?
Yeah, sorry. So the orc just
Yeah.
swung his weapon at you and rolled a 12 with a target of 80.
Do a dodge the last one to try to
Oof.
you with him.
But yes, it is a new round. It has been a new round. You do have your reaction. Because the other creature didn't shoot at you, so you do have the opportunity to.
Oh man, not happening.
Okay. He's gonna roll damage.
Oh.
That's Righteous Fury as well.
It's not gonna look good for me, I'll tell you that.
Which is impacting on 81, which is the right leg. Yeah, right leg. So he will just roll a d5 real quick.
Well, I can tell you right now, that's gonna take me out. I'll tell you that.
The attack rips the kneecap free from the target's leg, and he collapses to the ground. The target is knocked prone and suffers 1d10 agility damage. His movement values are halved, rounding up, until he receives medical attention. Also dealing a whole bunch of damage. Yeah, he brings the chopper down to the ground and hooks it behind your leg, and then just swings it straight up into the sky. You are flipped and land on your back, but your leg keeps going up and tears, twists, and detaches right at the kneecap. You are filled. You can only feel the pain of your leg coming off, and you black out for a while and are down for the count. If not, for good.
Oof.
Next are the Imperial Guard, who have shown their immense usefulness, and more of them will continue to pour in. And they will roll a collective shot.
Over here, get through the Eldar or the
through some means or another, that creature did not impede their entry into the room. So what do we got? Oh, look at that! Another abysmal barrage from the Imperial Guard. So yeah, again, they step in. The Imperial Guard down near Zebediah, shocked and terrified at the visceral scene they see before them, and fire wildly, not striking the orc in any way that hurts him. A couple shots glance off his armor, but he doesn't even notice. The Imperial Guard over on the left side fire at him as well, dealing no damage to his armored back, and the Imperial Guard on the right fire at the creature but it stands calmly, just taking minute side steps and avoiding all damage. Next, it is Irvin.
Shout at Quince to kill that bitch in the corner, and charge at the back of the Captain Metalhead. I tell Quince, kill that shifty son of a bitch over there, and run up, down as hard as I can on his disgusting carcass.
Come on, my little Yumi! What you got? What you got?
Oh my god.
Hi.
I used whip anyway, but it doesn't matter.
Goose. Yeah, he reaches down and blocks your whip, and as it wraps around and then unwraps around his
I should have hit chain axe, so whatever happens is regarding that.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, sure. But it slides, sending sparks everywhere. Your chain axe runs across, taking off the brand new paint job off his power claw, but he using it to whatever effect it can, just as a shield, and then steps back. Come on! That all you got, little one? Come on! I thought you all was gonna be a good fight, but yous all disappointed me. And it is Quintilius' turn.
I'm gonna take a half aim and file on the squirmy one in the corner.
Good idea. And that's still probably close range for your long las. Yeah, I'm sure that is.
Oh yeah.
There you go. Alright. That's a right leg shot. And it is going to try to dodge that. And fails. You strike it in the leg, and it all of a sudden stiffens in pain. And
yeah.
Oh wait.
He should have rolled his additional.
Nope, I rolled the wrong person. I know why he failed his dodge. I rolled the other guy. This is the correct dodge. Yeah, that's the correct one. The other one was Captain Metalhead trying his dodge. This is this creature's dodge as he steps to the side and then does kind of a back at Quintilius and levels his weapon ready to aim down at Quintilius. And he is going to set himself, like kneeling and bracing himself to fire the weapon, and is going to fire a barrage at Quintilius. Ooh!
Praise the Emperor.
Yes! Praise the Emperor! You see him aim his weapon and begin to fire. The first shot fires wide of you, and then the second one you see the splinter, you can see, because you're still aiming your scope, you can see perfectly down the barrel of his weapon as the splinter turns just a tad sideways inside the barrel and catches. And then the next one fires in, it catches against that one, and they quickly, in just a millisecond, block up, and you hear a pop, and a shotgun spray of those splinters fire out into his chest. He drops the gun, and I'm going to roll damage on him. Really poor damage, but that hurts him viciously. You see just several of those stuck in his chest, and he's going to roll... and you see he all of a sudden, similar, you recognize the feeling. He all of a sudden, as he feels the poison entering himself. It is now Zebediah's turn. Zebediah, please roll a toughness test to try and hold on.
Toughness. Right.
You regain consciousness just for a second to experience the pain a little bit more and cough up a little bit of blood and then pass out again. It is Metalhead's turn, and he's going to turn around to Irvin, say, "Well, looks like you wanted to turn first. I gotcha." And we'll swing. Oh! And he brings his chopper down and strikes viciously several times towards you, but each one you manage to avoid or raise your chain axe just enough to hold off the attack as he viciously just swipes over and over again at you. And now the Imperial Guard, more of them file in to support you. And more here. And more here. And they're going to try again. Try and actually be helpful. Come on, do something, please. Yes, there you go. They finally did something. I'm gonna give them a few attacks. You see them fire off multiple shots impacting against the orc and against the other creature. The orc, excuse you, winces in pain as his growing wounds begin to weigh him down. And the other creature, now with its massive injury, has a lot harder time avoiding the shots and takes a couple glancing hits and is beginning to tire and kind of not want to be here anymore. It is Irvin's turn and a new round.
All right. I'll just attack with my chain axe and you alien filth bag. And I'll take what you can do with melee or ranged attacks. Can't really charge. Oh, he's hulking. Oh, I should have gotten a bonus. Oh, for hell. I miss.
He again pulls out his power claw to try and block some of the attack, and just barely managed just to keep you from hurting him. He's really growing tired and weak now, and it is actually it would be Quintilius. You still have a half action if you want, Irfin.
No, I took a half aim with my melee attack.
Oh, okay, got it. Okay, Quintilius, then it is your turn.
I remember hearing that my throat was stapled shut, so I don't know if I'm able to speak.
No, yeah, your jaw was like he stapled the bits back together, but you can talk. It's just a bit like a move up for there sort of thing, like when a person's like that. You have more holes in your face than you're supposed to.
I'll try to convey the message that I want the Imperial Guardsman that's on the deck with us to get Zebediah out of here and to give him medical attention.
Yes, sir. And they will do that as their next action.
And then I'll could I take a half action and file on the creature in the corner?
Yeah, you can take a half aim and then shoot. Yeah. And the Imperial Guard are at least smart enough to like crouch and let you fire over them.
I will do that.
What do you do when your Medicus is down?
Sure.
The creature will attempt to avoid and fails. That is a hit. Roll damage. Oh. Where did you hit?
Also get one more additional D10 for degrees of success for an accurate weapon.
Oh yeah, roll that. You fire your shot and hit the area of his armor that's already been punctured by the splinters, and the laser hits and seeps in through the cracks, and the laser stops, and he holds as the liquids in his chest expand and steam begins to spew out of the cracks in his armor, and it pops, bursting open, firing small bits of shrapnel forward, and he falls to the ground, dead. It would be his turn, but he's down. It would be Zebediah's turn, but he's down. You can roll another toughness test, actually. Try and hold on to life.
Yes.
Yeah, so you're still not conscious, but unconsciously you hold on and stabilize just a little bit, keeping yourself out of death's grasp. And it is now Metalhead's turn. And he is going to roar up to the sky, saying, "Wah!" And is going to swing to try and hit Irvin. And is going to get to hit him twice. Unless he can manage to dodge or parry.
The parry.
Hey, hey. That stops everything as he swings down. You bring your chain up axe to block and knock away the first blow, and then he swings around to strike with his power claw, and you come down and knock it up with the shaft of the chain axe, and stand before him, and he is raging at you for avoiding his attacks. And it is now the Imperial Guard's turn. What was that?
Said, well, he can suck it.
Yes, he can. And basically they do a handoff system and hand Zebediah down the line of Imperial Guard to out, where he's received by some support personnel who are going to try and get him away from the fight. And it is Irvin's turn. Standing in the middle of the ramp, looking up at the hulking beast, who is just ready to tear him to little red gubbins.
These gentlemen on the left and right didn't do anything.
Oh yeah, I forgot. They get to shoot, or they get to try anyway.
Yeah.
Let's see if they can do something.
Hulking.
What do they got? Okay, yeah. Let's roll off a couple shots. Yes. You see the Imperial Guard bearing down and firing. They're like kneeling in full firing positions and fire everything they've got into the orc. And you see him standing with injuries just and burns mostly just everywhere. He's bleeding from wounds that have been cauterized and then opened again. And he falls to his knees, now eye to eye with Irvin, and reaches faintly over with his power claw. Get you. Get all of you. And then falls flat on his face. He is dead. Congratulations.
Huzzah.
I will decapitate him.
Cool. The Imperial Guard will try to help Zebediah get back on his feet, which they fail to get you back on your feet, but you are stable and are not dying in any way. You will be fine. But you definitely should not be walking, not for a while. And they place you in a mechanical wheelchair, essentially, and say to the three of you, the battle is won. And for the first time in a little while, you guys can look outside and see the charred, just obliterated former jungle area, which now is more of just a barren. It's ruined. If any of you had an appreciation for nature, which I don't expect many of you do, it would be saddening. And so
Probably still looks prettier than the prison world I come from.
Yep. You guys would see the a small troop of Imperial Guard have set themselves up in a small defensive formation with two chimeras flanking the arsenal. And you are, unless you have anything else you want to do, would be guided to the ramp, kind of elevator thing to get down. And they would say, we will gather up the remains of the Xenos and prepare them to be delivered to you. I will collect every shot fired, everything remaining of them for you.
Before they touch the xeno bodies, I will take the teeth out of Metalhead's skull and offer them to the guardsman who killed him.
They're a bit unsure. They're like, is this a trick question sort of thing? Will you shoot us? But they accept them and try and find like places on their clothing or their uniforms to place them to show what apparently the Inquisitor thinks is a very good thing, that they've slain
also
Xenos.
pry that metal mask or whatever off of the other one with the cannon. I will offer Quince trophies from the splinter cannon alien.
So Irvin offers to Quintilius the metal mask of the other strange Xenos.
If I can get the mask off of it, I'll offer him.
It is
trophies.
a bit challenging, as it is kind of grafted in, but it's not too hard, and it pulls off, although it is a bit fleshy and grime and gore covered on the inside.
I'll accept the gift and muddle out the best thank you I could.
Yeah.
Right.
Are you ready to see the spoils of war?
Oh yeah.
And they would guide you down to the armory. Not the armory. I keep saying that. To the arsenal. This large, and a closer inspection, this is definitely like a small but heavily armored transport ship. And you approach it and you see tons of pitiful scratches, attempts to get inside of it by the orcs, cover the surface, but nothing got even close. You see a data screen, armor with an armor plate that unsheathes itself, and you see the outline for a handprint to be placed on the screen.
I think we forgot the black box that the Knoll gave us, because I gave it to Zebediah.
Zebediah is with you. He's in his wheelchair. He's got it. Yeah, the three of you are there. You're there in front of the arsenal. Zebediah has it. Yeah, what do you do?
We're opening this thing up, right?
Yep, I think so. If you open the box, inside you would find what to Zebediah would immediately become familiar. This is the Inquisitor's right arm, which you removed.
Oh, I remember this thing.
Yeah.
All right. So use that to put that on the panel?
Yep, you can do so, and you would hear slow movement of heavy machinery inside. It would slowly slide open the heavy, ornate doors, and inside you would see lined up 9 metal vertical cylinders they have seams on them, as if they are like shielding to protect something inside, and each one has a small simple console next to them. When you enter, the lights along the ceiling flicker on. At the back, you see the corpse sitting in a small little station, the corpse of a navigator.
Is it a dead corpse?
Yep,
Or is it
totally
just
dead. Totally dead. And you see the cylinders begin to slowly open, and inside you see, held in stasis, 9 Space Marines.
Ooh.
Waiting to be released.
Can we see if their iconography and weapons? What do they look like?
They have, as an emblem, a shield of chrome. It looks like some sort of like a Roman tower shield.
Called down the other iron shield we had.
You forgot
Whoops.
that guy, didn't you?
Yeah, that seems like a good idea. Let's call him down.
You would hear his voice on the other line when you contact him. Is this an emergency, or should I approach in a less offensive manner than my drop pod?
Matter of ceremony that you wish to attend.
So, a couple minutes later, you would see a large drop pod, or not drop pod, a drop ship. Drop him off. He would step down. You would see that he has equipped on his left arm a heavy storm shield, and in his right arm he holds an extremely large thunder hammer. And on his pauldrons you also see the insignia of the chrome shield. He steps in and kneels. Brothers are alive. This is a joyous occasion. He stands back up. Praise to the Emperor for delivering my battle brothers safely. The Emperor protects. Thank you very much, Inquisitors.
Are there any other items in there besides significant?
You would see behind each one of the stasis pods, you would see a large heavy-duty locker containing the weaponry and equipment of that Space Marine.
I really are prerogative then.
He would reach down and touch the display console for one of them, and shutting down the stasis, the Marine inside the pod would kneel to the ground, shake himself. I am ready for action, battle brother. And he would slowly move to each one and release each Space Marine. And very quickly, you would see standing before you, prepped and ready for battle, a total of 10 of the Emperor's Angels, ready to fight. And that is where we are going to end.
Right. I didn't expect that.
Yeah, I was hoping not, because I'm bad at doing surprises. I was hoping to make things
Okay.
interesting.
It's hard to gauge whether you're good at surprising people.
It is really hard. Yeah, but yeah, I was hoping that
Really?
would be interesting. Got a boss down. You guys got a extremely valuable asset on your side now. Yeah. So.
War wounds.
Yeah, and a lot of war wounds. Yeah. Yeah. I think according to the exact mechanics, I think it will take
know for sure that I would be heavily damaged, and most likely Z is very close to burning fate if he hasn't already.
Yeah, no, he is
Tilius was.
right on the threshold. Yeah. Um yeah, according to the rules, I think it would take his character something like 2 to 4 weeks of intense medical care
Yeah,
to get back into fighting order.
you'd have to run through the extended care
Yeah.
rules of the Medicaid stuff, and
Yeah. So, really quick, some nice loot that your characters would acquire looking over the Xenos equipment. You would find, first of all, the big choppa, custom built for Metalhead. It's slightly better than the regular one, but it is a huge two-handed weapon for any of you.
For now.
For now, yeah, unless you guys get stronger. Let me real quick pull out this. You would get a hold of a splinter pistol from the other guy who died. The other thing, you guys never figured out what it was, but you all know what it actually is. Thing. And you would also get a hold of a what was it? Eldar plasma grenade. 2 of them. And I will send you all the stats and all that bookkeeping stuff in between sessions. But Irvin has dropped out. Well, we're just about done. I am Shogun. On Twitter, I'm Shogun117. I do Dark Heresy here every Tuesday. We're moving towards a new campaign because or we're gonna finish this up in I think about 4 weeks, something like that. Because I have a really short attention span and I can't hold a game for too long. So we're gonna do this, and I hope to make this epic. These characters are really cool, and they're holding on really hard not to get corrupted, trying not to get killed. They're doing pretty good for Inquisitors in the world of 40k. But yeah. So anything else for you guys? Else, I'm gonna see if we can go and raid somebody. And let's see. Are they running? Yeah, they're live. Sweet. We will do I can't tell when they're there. That'll tell me. Are they live? No, Casamac is not live. Anybody know what is live?
What is live? Baby, don't hurt me.
Yeah, I'm looking for good ones. Nope, not there. Okay. Right, I can look just for categories of day and day as a category. Dungeons and Dragons. Let's do that.
Man, how about that first blow from the agonizer?
Yeah, that agonizer was pretty pretty powerful. And so I had him there. If you guys were interesting to him, he was going to stick around, keep messing with you guys. But if not, he was going to back out. If you guys had stuck around to beat the crap out of him, you would trolls are us. I think we will raid these people. Nope, that's a rerun. But the loot he had on him was amazing. He would have had the agonizer, and he also had a cloning field. Clone field, which gets you a second dodge reaction every turn, and he also gets to reroll failed dodges. It's pretty amazing. Let's do. Say Tomb of Annihilation on that Finn guy. So I will do that. So / raid. Does that work? Invalid username. Oh. Wait. / raid. How about that? No. That doesn't work. I'm trying to. I'm supposed to raid and I keep not. I'm trying. No, I'm messing it up. Ooh, no. You know what? Let's do. They're one of my favorite ones. Let's see if we can do this. / raid. Does that work? That does work. Awesome. We're actually going. Sweet. Thank you, everyone, for watching. I am incompetent at this, but I try. And I will see you all next week, where we move into more nefarious and even more exciting than an orc invasion. I'm super excited for this. I've got awesome stuff I think is really, really exciting for the next session. Have a great week, everybody. Welcome to the party.
See ya.
All right, see ya. Thank you very much.
On the table, and he points to a small box sitting there.
All right,
that
have a
is
great week.
the receiver
I will start sending you guys
to the coin
stat
that has
stuff.
embedded itself in his back.
As soon
I
as
don't know that it
possible.
will help, but it's yours to take if it stands a chance of helping him in any way.
Yeah. Have a great
We
week.
appreciate your efforts.
All right, see you guys next week.
We understand you're on the right side of things, but... And then he leans back into the chair and says, we're going to have to keep you lot on ice for a while we take care of this threat.
Do
And
I
then
think I'm stealthed still?
Oh, absolutely. You think that you're stealthed.
Okay.
Um,
But I'm
at
not
that,
going to speak up.
you hear a locking mechanism in the door that you guys came up just